Hi, so tonight I'm going to be speaking of effectively communicating in teams. I chose this topic because it's something that I find very important, and especially in the environment that I work in. First, I'm going to discuss what a team is. So, a team is two or more people working together to achieve a common goal. They're collaborating to solve problems. And so, to a team, there's many advantages and disadvantages. So some of the advantages would be that there's access to more information. People are just bringing all kinds of ideas to the table, and they're diverse. So everybody has a different way of thinking, and we're just bringing those ideas together. And sometimes it's a combination of the ideas that create the solution to the problem. There's increased acceptance because if people are feeling included in the process, then they're going to be more likely to accept, whatever was created from this team, whatever goals. And then there's higher performance levels because it's type of motivation. People feel included. They feel like they're a part of something. Then on the opposite end, some disadvantages would be groupthink. So instead of bringing the ideas to the table, they're just going along with what everybody else is saying. Then there's hidden agendas, so people are just in it for themselves. They're not really, there to really be involved in the process. They're just what's going to benefit me? And then there's the costs. Setting up meetings and things like that cost money, and so sometimes those costs, really add up, and it really puts a negative impact on the team environment. Some characteristics of teams. You can have a dysfunctional team and you can have functional teams. Some characteristics that would fall into dysfunctional teams is if you get some controlling people and they just think that they're the boss and telling you how to do things instead of actually involving people and including them in the decision process. There's withdrawing. Sometimes you get the person that just kind of sits in the back and they don't really participate. And then you have people that are just there for attention, just whatever is going to be more rewarding for them and about them. And then there's diverting, where they're not on topic, they're going to something else. And it all just, mixes in and makes a dysfunctional team. So characteristics like being encouraging and harmonizing and coordinating and procedure setting, those are all going to be things that are going to make a functional team. People are really involved and they're going to participate and they're looking out for the benefit of the team. And then there's group development. The book used a good grid of what the different steps were. There was orientation, conflict, brainstorming, emergence, and reinforcement. Orientation is really, it's our icebreakers, it's our introductions, really getting to know each other and kind of determining those roles that people play. There's conflict, and so conflict always comes in because we have different opinions. Not everybody's going to think alike. Brainstorming, that's when we actually come together and we really think, throw our ideas out there. And then emergence, this is when we actually come together and we make a decision. And then the reinforcement is that we're just harmonizing together and really becoming a team. Some things that we have to think about is conflict resolution. So we have to have proactive behavior. We can't let things get out of control before we're like, oh, now we need to solve the problem. We have to communicate. We need to really be open with each other and make sure that we're thoroughly researching, our topics. We have to be flexible with each other. We have to form this alliance. We have to be together. And then there's the resistance solution. You have to express an understanding for other people's opinions and their thoughts. Whenever there's something where somebody's pulling away, we have to kind of work to pull them back in, explain to them why we're doing something. And then, we have to evaluate others' objections fairly. We have to understand where they're coming from, what their point of view is. And then, from my experience, and this is why I feel very, excited about this topic of teams is my boss is actually located in Boston. And so half of our associates are in Boston and then half are here in Lawrence. So I have two other peers at management level that are in Boston, and then I have one in the Lawrence office with me. And so we get this kind of like battlegrounds of like, they're out to get me, they're out to get me. But at the end of the day, we're all a team. We all have the same common goal to get the work done, do it effectively, do it timely, produce it with the best quality, satisfy our customer. So we needed to find some common ground. We needed something to work so where we felt we were all on the same page. So we have these team meetings that we have weekly. And so, every Thursday at 10 in the morning, we're meeting and we're discussing any topics that have come up, any discrepancies that we're seeing among the staffing, procedures and things like that. And we can get it all out in the open and in a controlled environment. All the managers are in there. Obviously, the Lawrence office is on a web call with the Boston office. And so it's really kind of a cool experience. And so, it's something that we've had to work at and we've had to really come together as a team.